Hello, this is the module of WordPress Power session getting started.
Hi, my name is Joyanne Sloan, and today we're going to learn how to build a profitable website and use it powerfully in this WordPress module of Profit Academy. There are 5 WordPress Power sessions in all, and this is session 1. In this module, you're going to learn the expert tricks, tips, and best practices for using WordPress to build your website and generate sales. You'll get need-to-know insights from a professional web designer with 10 years of experience building websites and teaching entrepreneurs how to effectively use WordPress to grow their business. In this class, we'll get started by learning about hosting providers and what to consider when choosing a web hosting service and why you need one in the first place. We'll also learn about domain names and how to connect your domain name to your website hosting provider. We'll go through a simple WordPress installation requiring no technical skills and learn about which version of WordPress you'll need. Finally, you'll discover how to choose and install the right theme to support your internet business. The benefits to you in this training are that we're going to combine know-how with show-how and live demonstrations. And it includes power strategies that help you understand why to build your site in a specific and strategic way. You'll end up with a website that can support your revenue goals and can grow as your business grows. By implementing these steps, you can save thousands of dollars that you might have spent hiring a web designer, and you can maintain your own site with confidence. Finally, you will avoid wasted time, frustration, and lost opportunity cost. So let's get started by talking about how to pick a hosting provider and what you need to know before you begin. First, you'll be using what's called a self-hosted WordPress installation, so hosting is required, it's not optional. While it's called self-hosted, you don't actually host it yourself. You're simply renting space on another company's server. And you definitely get what you pay for. So the cheapest option is most likely the cheapest for a reason, not always your best bet. You'll get the best prices when you prepay an annual hosting package or buy a service bundle. And I definitely advise you to choose wisely because changing around hosting and moving your website later is a big hassle that you'll want to avoid. Here are the top 10 criteria for choosing a good web host. First, you'll want good pricing and flexible payment options. But there's also bandwidth, and that's the amount of traffic your site gets, which is different from it added to your site over time.
Why?
You may also want to add on additional domains that are hosted under one account without having to pay more.
Why?
Usually, a good hosting company will include a free domain name registration for a period of 1 year, and when that expires, you'll have to renew it at your own cost. Automated backups are a great feature. If you're forced to back up your website manually, you may forget, and if your website ever goes down, you won't have the most current version of it to restore. Definitely look for 24-hour, 7-day-a-week technical support. This is probably the single biggest value in any hosting package. You'll want support via phone, email, and live chat, so I really wouldn't even consider a company that doesn't offer 24/7 access. You'll want to use professionally branded email accounts when you set up your domain name. So it'll be like your name at yourdomain.com. And usually a good company will include an unlimited number of these accounts. The WordPress installer is a script that will instantly load the WordPress software onto your website, and it's really nice because you can do it with one click, and it requires no technical skills whatsoever. And last but not least, performance and reliability are really important because you need your website to remain online for available customers and not to experience ongoing service outages. So I've gone through the exercise of doing a comparison chart here for you of 2 of the biggest names in hosting, being Bluehost and GoDaddy. In this leftmost column of the table, you'll see the 10 top criteria that we just reviewed, and then how they compare for Bluehost in the middle and then GoDaddy on the right. Now, we won't go through these line item by line item, but if you want to use this chart to make a decision, just notice that I've included some simple clicks here that you can get to coupons by following this link and get a discount for either company. Once you have your hosting set up, you'll need to connect your domain name to that host. So domain names are usually registered or rented for a limited period of time, typically 1, 3, or 5 years, and they must be renewed. I definitely recommend setting your domain names to auto-renew so that if you forget, they won't be snatched up by somebody else. You can register your domain name with one service, such as register.com, but have your website files hosted by an entirely different service like Bluehost. To connect your domain name to your website, you must update what's called the DNS information to point to the files stored on your web host server. DNS simply stands for Domain Name System. So now let's talk about how to update your DNS settings. You'll need to log into the account where you registered your domain name. And now let's move over to a live demonstration of my account on GoDaddy. So here we are on GoDaddy's homepage. I'll go ahead and sign in and click here. When your account opens up, you'll see a list of the different services that you have here. So we'll go ahead under Domains and click Launch. Once you see the various domain names that you own, we'll go here. This is the one that I'm going to change the DNS information on. And we'll click here under the gear icon and go to Domain Details. Under Name Servers here, we're going to click on Manage. And you can see that they're currently set, because this isn't a developed website, they're currently set to the ones for GoDaddy. But we'll go ahead and change them to Custom, and then click on Enter Custom Name Servers. This is the spot in which we'll want to put ns1.bluehost.com if this is where my website will be hosted, and ns2.bluehost.com, and then click OK. Finally, you'll want to save your changes. And that's it. So here's a great little tip for you if you don't know the DNS information for your particular host. You can just go to a new browser window and go to Google and then search for the words name servers for and then add your hosting service name. And do a search for that, and that will easily get you the answer that you want. So why do you need web hosting in the first place? This is a great question. And now that you have your own website hosting account and you've pointed your domain name to it, you get the big payoff, and that's installing WordPress. Now, if you're new, some of you may not know that there's an actual difference between WordPress.com and WordPress.org. Here's a list on the left, which you may want to pause this video and study in detail. What we want here is WordPress.org because it allows a great deal more customization than you would get on WordPress.com, in which your website is actually hosted by WordPress.com. So why do you need WordPress.org? Well, because you'll have total control over what you do with your website and your business. Plus, you can install and customize themes to change the look and feel of your website. And you can use something called plugins to add even more features and functions. And this is probably the main distinguishing factor between WordPress.com and WordPress.org. On WordPress.com, you are only allowed to use about the top 20 plugins that they allow, and there are over 30,000 plugins that will add new tools and features to your website, which you would not have access to on WordPress.com. So now we're going to do a quick demonstration of how to install WordPress with the one-click installer. First, you'll want to log into your web hosting account, and we'll go ahead and demonstrate with GoDaddy. So once you're logged into your GoDaddy account, under Quick Links, go ahead and click on Manage Your Hosting. And your hosting accounts, you'll be in an area called the cPanel or Control Panel and click Manage. This will take you to a list of various web applications, preferences, and so forth. So in the middle section there, under Web Applications, you'll see WordPress. Just go ahead and click that. And all you have to do is click the orange Install This Application button. At this point, you could enter a sub-area of your website where you want to install WordPress, but you'll want to leave this area blank so that the entire website is powered by WordPress. So don't go ahead and put that as a blog, just go ahead and leave it blank for now. So under these different settings, you'll want to accept the license agreement. You'll also choose to create a backup and update to new minor versions. Do not automatically update WordPress plugins and do not automatically update your themes. Then you'll choose an administrator username and password that is secure. And then for administrator email, you'll want to enter the primary email address that you'll use to access your account. Under website title, go ahead and give your website a name for now. And then a tagline. This is something like a slogan. You can also update this information later, so don't worry about it now, just enter something for the time being. You do not need to enable multi-site, and we will not go into that now, so just leave that setting at no, do not enable multi-site. You could also leave the limit login attempts in place. That way it will limit somebody else who might be trying to hack into your account. And then go ahead and click on Install. In just a matter of moments, the required files will be copied over to your main root directory. And it may be just a moment or two before you can actually access your new WordPress installation. GoDaddy will then give you a link to go straight to your new website. It may again say that it's launching soon, but go ahead and refresh your page and you will see your new WordPress site. So, congratulations, you've just successfully installed WordPress on your website. And if you didn't use GoDaddy or another one-click installer with a different hosting provider, it may take up to 24 hours before your installation is complete, but it's usually done within a matter of an hour or two. When it is complete, you'll generally receive a confirmation email with a link to log into your new WordPress site. And you can always access what we call the back end of your website by adding the letters WP-admin to your domain name. So for example, it would be www.yoursite.com/WP-admin. Now we get to talk about themes. And the theme of your website is a pre-made design that dictates the entire look and feel of your website, including the background color or images on your web pages, the font styles, font sizes, headings, hyperlinks, and so forth. The theme also controls the layout of the home page as well as interior pages and the performance of your website on web browsers. The theme is also an important influence on the degree to which you can customize different elements or include special features. And it controls the ability to view your site from a mobile device. Now let's talk about a really important topic, and that is theme selection, because there are literally tens of thousands of themes available today. Themes have a lot of elements that influence how your website looks as well as how user-friendly it is. Unfortunately, it's not always easy to see these elements when looking only at a theme's preview. In the WordPress theme directory, which we'll take a closer look at in a minute, you'll find almost 3,000 free website themes, but